Welcome to week 1 of Slots Labs Lite. By the end of the week, you'll have something most slots players never have, a clear plan. You'll know your target casino, your gambling goal, and you'll start seeing the floor differently than everyone else walking in blind. Now, fair warning, this is the heaviest week of the entire program. More assignments than any other week. That's by design. We're building your foundation right here, right now. Everything we do in weeks 2 through 6 depend on what you are put in this week. So let's walk through each assignment together. Your first assignment is to complete or revisit the 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win course. This isn't busy work. This course covers the foundational concepts we'll build on every week in Slots Labs Lite. This isn't busy work. This course covers the foundational concepts we'll build on every single week in Slots Labs Lite. How slot machines actually pay, how casinos design their floors to influence your decisions, and why most players lose before they even sit down. If you've already been through it, good. This time, watch it like an engineer. Don't just absorb the what. Look for the why behind each strategy. Pay attention to the details you skimmed past the first time. If you registered recently and haven't gone through it yet, set aside a few hours this week and work through the full course. It's designed to move quickly, but take the time to actually understand the material. Don't just check the box. Once you've finished, take the quiz. It's included in your assignments this week. The quiz tells both of us whether you've locked in the key concepts. If you pass, you're ready for what comes next. If you don't, revisit the sections you missed. No shame in that. That's actually what this process is for. Assignment 2 is reflection, and this is where the learning gets personal. You'll answer 7 questions that connect the 30 days material directly to your slots play, your casinos, your habits, your results. These questions aren't theoretical. They're asking you to look honestly at how you've been playing and where the gaps are between what you now know and what you've actually been doing. Be honest with yourself. If you haven't implemented something yet, say so. The whole point of Slots Labs Lite is to close that gap. Now, beyond these 7 questions, I also need you to write down 3 things. 1, your target casino or casinos. Where do you play? Where are you going to apply what we learned here? 2, the types of gaming machines available in those casinos. You learned how to identify this in the 30 Days course. Now I want you to apply it to your specific locations. 3, your primary gambling goal. Why are you playing? What does a successful session look like to you? Maybe it's entertainment. Maybe it's hitting a specific dollar target. Maybe your goal shifts depending on the trip. That's fine, but I need you to think about it and write it down. If you haven't nailed all 3 down completely, that's okay, but get as much figured out as you can, written down, and ready to reference as we move forward. And be honest, don't make anything up just to have an answer. We'll work through the gaps in the weeks ahead. Assignment 3, and this one's fun. I want you to go to YouTube and find slots channels to watch, not to copy what they do, to study them. Watch how other players approach the machines. Pay attention to what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. As you watch, write down 5 lessons. Maybe you notice someone burning through their bankroll in 10 minutes. That's a lesson. Maybe someone walks away at the right time. That's a lesson too. Maybe you see a player making a decision that contradicts everything you just learned in the 30 Days course. Write it down. Keep those 5 lessons in your notes. Were the channels easy to find? Are you actually learning anything useful? Is what you're going through relatable to what you see at your own casinos? You'll want those observations as reference points throughout the program. If you can visit one of your casinos this week, this gives you a real head start on something we'll dig much deeper into later. Not all slot machines are created equal, and the game rules screen will tell you things the casino hopes you never read. Here's what I want you to look for. If you can find any of the following machines on the floor, pull up the game rules and check whether progressive jackpot limits are listed. Wicked Wheel, look for the Panda, Fire Phoenix, or Hot Stuff variations. Each one can have up to 6 progressive jackpots. Check the game rules for limits on each. Now, heads up, I found that the Hot Stuff variant tends not to include these limits, while Panda and Fire Phoenix often do. See if your casino matches or if it's different. Gold Hills, check the game rules for progressive jackpot limits. Cashnado Alert, same thing, check for limits. Farmville, check for limits. Your personal favorite slot machine, whatever it is, pull up those game rules and see what's there. Write down what you find. You're going to be surprised how much information is hiding in plain sight on those screens. That's week 1. 4 assignments, 1 optional. All of them are also written out on the page after this video. Use it as your checklist. Work through each one and check it off. Here's what I want you to remember. Most slots players walk into a casino hoping to get lucky. After this week, you won't be most slots players. You'll have a plan and a goal, and that'll put you ahead of nearly everyone on the floor. This is where it starts. Let's go. Every week in Slots Labs Lite, we're going to tackle one of the hardest problems in slot machine gambling, leaving the casino with your winnings. Not hitting a win, leaving with it. Because here's what I've seen over and over again. Players do the work. They pick the right casino. They find a candidate machine. They hit. And then somewhere between that winning moment and the parking lot, the money disappears. Back into the machines. That's not bad luck. That's a design problem. Casinos are engineered from the carpet patterns to the sound effects to the location of the exits to keep you playing. Every element of that floor is working against your decision to walk away. So in this weekly segment, we're going to reverse engineer that. Each week, I'll introduce one specific casino element designed to prevent you from leaving. We'll understand how it works, and we'll build your personal response to it. By week 6, you have a complete exit strategy, not based on willpower, but based on systems. This week is our warm-up. Before we get into what the casino is doing to you, I need to know what you're already doing to protect yourself. So here's this week's question. What tools, if any, do you currently use to leave with your casino winnings? And I mean concrete physical tools or actions, not, I tell myself to stop. That's willpower, and willpower loses to casino design every time. I'm talking about systems. Here are some examples I've seen from players over the years. The spouse handoff. You hit a payout and you immediately hand the cash or ticket to your spouse or partner. It's no longer in your hands. Simple but effective, if your partner is disciplined enough not to hand it back. The lockbox. You bring a small lockbox to the casino. Winnings go in. It doesn't open until you're in the car. Some players put the key in the glove compartment so there's a physical barrier between them and rebetting. The casino safe. Some casinos will hold your money at the front desk or in a safe deposit box. You'd be surprised how many players don't know this service exists. The cashier's check. You cash out and immediately convert your winnings into a check at the casino cage. You can't feed a check into a slot machine. That friction is the point. The envelope method. You bring a labeled envelope. When you hit your target, the winnings go into the envelope and the envelope goes into your pocket. You keep playing only with what's left of your original session budget. These are just examples. Maybe you use one of them. Maybe you use something completely different. Maybe you don't use anything at all, and that's important to admit too. Here's what I want you to do this week. 1. Answer the question honestly. What tools do you currently use? Write it down. If the answer is nothing, write that down. 2. If you do have a method, ask yourself how often does it actually work? Be honest. If you hand money to your spouse but end up asking for it back 30 minutes later, that's not a working system. That's a ritual. 3. Write your answer down. I want to see it on paper. What's working, what's failing, and what you've never tried. Be honest with yourself. That, honestly, is the foundation for everything we build in the next lesson. Next week, we'll start breaking down the first casino element designed to keep you playing past your win. Once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. But this week, take stock. Know where you're starting from, because you can't build a better exit strategy until you're honest about the one you have, or don't have.